If you're a new service provider and one of your goals for this quarter is to optimize your business, this video is for you. Let's be real, when you're new in business, it can feel like everything needs your attention at the same time. The authors of Build a Business, Not a Job describes this as a level 1, no control, no freedom business. You're trying to figure out your offer, how to please the algorithm, how to get clients, look professional, and build systems. You're trying to learn what you're doing while also convincing people that you know what you're doing. And that alone can feel like a full-time job. So in this video, I'm breaking down how I will optimize my business this quarter as a new service provider, especially if the goal is to attract the right clients, create a smoother client experience, and make the business easier to manage behind the scenes. The goal is not to do everything, but build a business that is clear, organized, and easy for people to trust. So let's get into it. So first thing first, clarity. Before I try to be everywhere where the algorithm exists, I need to make sure people actually understand what I do. One of the biggest mistakes new service providers make is trying to sound impressive instead of being clear. And I get it. You want your business to sound professional. You want people to take you seriously. You want your offer to feel valuable. But sometimes in trying to sound polished, the message gets a bit confusing. So the first goal would be to clarify the offer. That means answering questions like, what do I actually help people with? Who do I help? What problem am I solving? What result am I helping them get? What is included in my service? What's not included? How does someone know they are ready to work with me? And what should the next steps be? We often find ourselves saying something like, I help business owners grow. That's cute, but it's also vague. How do you help them grow? Who are you helping? What is the transformation? So instead of being so focused on making the offer sound good, I will focus on making the offer easy to understand. Alright, so for example, instead of saying, I provide creative business solutions for entrepreneurs, I would say something more specific like, I help service-based business owners organize their client experience, clean up their backend systems, and create a smoother process from inquiry to book client. That tells people who it's for, what the focus is, and what kind of result they can expect. So before anything else, this quarter needs to be about making the offer clear. The second thing I will focus on is my client journey. Attracting people is one thing, but once you have them in the door, now what? As a service provider, we've all been guilty, including myself, of accidentally falling short here. Someone sees your content, they like what you said, they go to your page, they click your link, and then they're lost and confused. There's too many options to choose from, so now they don't know which service they need. They don't know how to inquire. They don't know what happens after they submit the form. They don't even know if they should book a call, send a DM, or wait for you to reach out. At that point, the excitement starts to fade. Matter of fact, it's probably gone. So if I was optimizing my business this quarter, I would look at the full client journey from start to finish. How do people find me? What do they see first? Does my website or landing page explain services clearly? Is my inquiry form asking the right questions? Do people know what happens after they inquire? Let's take it a step further. Do I have an email response ready? Do I have a process for discovery calls? Do I have a smooth onboarding process after they pay? What about offboarding? As a new service provider, I would not wait until I have 10 clients to fix the experience. I would build it early. It does not have to be perfect, but it does need to be intentional. Now, the third thing I would do is focus on simple systems. Keyword on simple. Because sometimes when people hear the word systems, they immediately check out and think it's complicated. You're probably ready to click off this video just from the sound of it. You think you need 10 different platforms, color-coded dashboards, automations for every single thing, and a full back-end setup that runs like $1 million company. That is how you're going to overwhelm yourself and quit before you even get started. Systems are meant to help you stay organized and deliver a better experience. So let's focus on the basics, such as creating an inquiry form so you're not collecting those random DMs, setting up or optimizing your current booking calendar so people can schedule without all the back and forth. Create a proposal or service guide so you're not explaining your offer from scratch every single time. Have an invoice or payment process ready. None of this has to be fancy. We don't have to overcomplicate it. Systems are not about making your business look busy, but making your business easier to run without burning you out. Next, we have visibility, but with intention. Yes, as a new service provider, people do need to know you exist, but visibility without strategy can turn into just posting the post. So instead of trying to show up everywhere, I will focus on creating content that supports the business you're building. There are 3 types of content to prioritize. The first type of content I will focus on is problem-aware content. This content that speaks directly to what your audience is already struggling with. So let's say you're a hairstylist, for instance. That could look like why your silk press is not lasting past 3 days. Or signs your hair needs moisture, not another protective styles. Now let's say you're a photographer. That could look something like why your pictures look good but still do not feel like you. Or why you feel awkward every time you get in front of the camera. The goal is to create content that makes your audience feel seen, not called out. You don't have to be rude about it. The second type of content is education content, just like this video. This helps your audience understand what they need, why it matters, and how to make better decisions before working with you. So if you're a hairstylist, you might teach something like how to prep your hair before a silk press appointment, or what to know before booking color for the first time. Now let's say you're a makeup artist. You might share how to prep your skin before a makeup appointment, or something like what kind of inspo pictures actually help your makeup artist. This type of content positions you as someone who knows what they're talking about without making every single post feel like a sales pitch. Now the third type of content is trust building content. This is where you show your process, your perspective, your values, and what it's actually like working with you. Let's say you're a fitness coach, for instance. How I adjust a client's workout when they're tired, stressed, or on their cycle. Or why I focus on realistic routines instead of extreme plans. Now, coming from a graphic designer of the past 5 years, people do not just buy because you posted a pretty graphic. They buy because they feel like you understand their problem, they trust your approach, and they believe you can guide them to the result they want. Now, the fifth thing I will focus on is my brand experience. When I say brand experience, I do not just mean your colors, fonts, and logo. I mean the way people actually experience your brand as a whole. Does your brand feel clear? Does it feel trustworthy, organized? Does it feel like you know who you are talking to? Does it feel like there is an actual next step? You can have a beautiful brand and still have a confusing business. So in this quarter, I will audit the main places people interact with my business, like your Instagram bio, your pinned posts, website or landing page. What are your email responses? Ask yourself this main question. If someone was interested in working with you today, would this experience make it easy for them to say yes? If the answer is no, that is where you should start optimizing. Now, the next thing I will focus on is tracking what is actually working. Because if you are not tracking anything, honey, you are playing guess who. And I know tracking does not always sound exciting, especially when you are in the creative side of business, but it does matter. You need to know what is bringing people in, what content is creating conversations, what offers people are asking about, and where people may be dropping off. And again, keep it simple. Every week I would track metrics like how many inquiries came in, how many clients booked, what content got the most engagement. This does not have to be a complicated spreadsheet, but you do need a way to see what is working. Remember, the goal is not to be busy, the goal is to make better decisions. So if I had to summarize how I will optimize my business this quarter as a new service provider, I would break it down like this. Month 1, focus on clarity. Clean up your offer, your messaging, your service descriptions, and your overall positioning. Now, month 2, we're focusing on the client experience. Improve your inquiry process, booking process, onboarding, communication, and project flow. Month 3, focus on visibility and lead generation. Create content that speaks to your audience, builds trust, leads people towards your offer. Optimizing your business is about making the business easier to understand, easier to trust, and easier to work with. And as a new service provider, that definitely matters. You don't need to look like you've been in business for 10 years, but you do need to look like you have a clear process, a clear offer, and a clear next step. So if this quarter is your season to get serious about your business, do not just focus on looking more visible. Focus on becoming more prepared for the visibility that you're asking for. When it's time for the right people to find you, is your business going to be ready to receive them? If this video helped you, make sure you subscribe because I'll be sharing more content around business systems, client experience, visibility, and building a service-based business that does not feel chaotic behind the scenes. And if you are in your season of optimizing your business, let me know in the comments, what is your focus? Is it systems, visibility, client experience? As always, thank you so much for watching Develop Digital. I'll see you here next time.